This is Chris Medeiros. Like, subscribe to TNW Wrestling on YouTube. Subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Medeiros, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and it'll all be down there in the description box. And I'm here to do my WWE Monday Night Raw, March 7th, 2022 reviews. So here we go, discussing about Monday Night Raw. So before we talk about the Raw Tag Team Championship match, we gotta talk about what they was showing right when Raw came on the air, which was which they were showing what happened this past Saturday in Madison Square Garden, and pretty much what happened was we seen with Brock Lesnar after he retained the WWE Championship against Austin Theory. That's when Roman Reigns came up and starts attacking him. But Brock Lesnar was fighting him off, and the Usos came in fighting him off as well. But then, of course, later on, Roman got the upper hand, hitting him with the steel chair, hitting him with the steel steps, busting him open, and then Roman slams him with like the Uranagi slam onto the steel stairs, and that's when we get the visual of Roman standing over Brock while Brock is laid out bloody all over the steel steps. So yeah, that's what we were seeing. But then we got Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens. They come out to the ring, and they was talking about how they're going to win the match tonight and go to WrestleMania as the new Raw Tag Team Champions. That's their goal. They really want to be featured in WrestleMania this year. That's what Rollins and Owens were saying, and they were saying how 2 weeks ago how they got into this match was they beat RK Bro to get into this match, and then they showed how they beat Alpha Academy last week. So pretty much they got the advantage. Like, they got the momentum going into this match, how they beat both of the teams already. But then we're going to see how they fare off with both of the teams at once. So yeah, that's what happened there. And then Chad Gable and Otis, Alpha Academy, they came out and they started talking about how they're going to retain the Raw Tag Team Championships and go to WrestleMania and defend the titles as well. So yeah, that's what they was talking about. And then RK Bro was stopped backstage before they made their entrance and stuff. They was talking about how they're going to win the Raw Tag Team Championships and go to WrestleMania and all that. That's what Orton and Riddle was saying. And then they go out and we got the match started. It was a pretty damn good match. It's probably the best tag team triple threat match I've seen. Like, it was really, really good. Like, these three teams pulled this match off. Like, it blew up. So yeah, it was a really great match. So it was the Raw Tag Team Champions, Chad Gable and Otis, Alpha Academy, versus Randy Orton and Riddle, RK Bro, versus Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens in a triple threat tag team match for the Raw Tag Team Championships, and it was the first match of the night. And this match, it was like I said, it was really good. Multiple times at one point, the announce table was sturdy as shit, because apparently Orton hits that backwards suplex like he usually does, and he done it on Kevin Owens, and the announce table never broke. And then he does it to Chad Gable, it still never broke. And then he was trying to do it to Otis, and then he had to get Riddle to get him to help him out, and both of them hit the backwards suplex onto Otis on the announce table, and it still never broke. And Otis is a big guy, and so that announce table was sturdy as all hell. And pretty much all throughout this match, everybody doing tag team moves and all that, which was pretty nice. But then at the very ending of this match, which was freaking amazing, we seen Chad Gable and looked like he was going to hit the moonsault. I want to say onto either Riddle or Seth Rollins, one of the two. I forgot who was in the ring at the top, but whoever it was, they rolled out the way, so they never got hit with it. But Chad Gable climbed up the top turnbuckle, jumps off with the moonsault, and while he's in the position, while he's in the air, flipping with the moonsault, he gets hit with the RKO in the air. A nice-ass RKO. So Randy Orton literally came out of nowhere, hit the RKO while Chad Gable was hitting the moonsault, which was freaking nice. It was amazing. And then Kevin Owens comes up, super kicks Randy Orton, and then Orton rolls out the ring. And then Otis was trying to come up, and then Rollins and Owens kept on hitting the super kicks on him and threw him out the ring. So it took Otis out. So Otis and Randy Orton took him out, and Riddle ain't nowhere to be found. But then we seen Kevin Owens quickly grabbing Chad Gable, picked him up, put him on Seth Rollins' shoulders. Rollins then hits the buckle bomb onto him, and then Owens hits the stunner, and then Owens and rolled out or something. Something happened to him. But then Seth Rollins comes up quickly, hits the curb stomp onto Chad Gable, and then that's when Riddle quickly comes in, grabs the Rollins, throws him over the top rope, goes for the pin on Gable, and got the 3 count. So yeah, RK Bro defeated Alpha Academy and Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens in this triple threat tag team match. Really good match. So yeah, RK Bro is the new Raw Tag Team Champions. Like I said, great match. And while he was going for the pin, we've seen Seth Rollins and Kevin Owens try to go break up the pin. Orton quickly grabbed Owens so he wouldn't get in. Rollins couldn't get in time either. So yeah, it was a really crazy ending. But then after the match ended, we seen we seen Kevin Owens upset and everything, about to cry and stuff while sitting down against a steel stairs. And then while he's all upset and everything, we see Seth Rollins walking away, not blinking, no nothing, just shocked that he ain't going to WrestleMania. So yeah, that was probably the only chance. Well, we know they're going to go to WrestleMania, but yeah, storyline wise, it's possibly their only chance. But yeah, like I said, really good match. This match, I want to give it 4.5 stars. That's why I'm going to give this match. It was a really, really good match to kick off Monday Night Raw. It was a really good one. RK Bro winning back the Raw Tag Team Championships. They are now a 2-time Tag Team Champions. Oh yeah, and I forgot to mention, RK Bro did get interviewed inside the ring after this match ended, and Randy Orton was talking about how he's having the most fun in his career in over 20 years that he's been in this business, and how he's having the most fun with his buddy Riddle, and how they're going to go to WrestleMania and stuff now. So yeah, that's what Randy Orton said. Pretty cool moment. But yep, that's what happened there. But yeah, like I said, that match and stuff, kicking off Raw, really great. The segments and promos between all 3 teams was really great and all that. So yeah, really good stuff. Like I said, everything I'll give 4.5 stars. Actually, you know what? I'll give it 5 stars. Freaking the match and everything was great. 5 stars. That's why I'll give this match easily best triple threat tag team match I ever seen between all 3 of these guys. But yeah, all 3 of these teams. But yeah, it was a really great match. Like I said, RK Bro coming out for the win. And yeah, still to come later on tonight on Raw, we'll see Edge on Raw. Not only that, we'll see Logan Paul and The Miz with Jerry the King Lawler tonight. And we'll see, apparently, with the 24/7 title up next with Dana Brooke. So yeah, she's coming out on Raw up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was another championship match. But before I talk about that title match, we're going to talk about Kevin Owens now. We've seen Kevin Owens backstage right when Raw came back on the air. He was backstage just looking upset, over the fact that he ain't going to WrestleMania. And that was it. So yeah, and then we get to the match. It was the 24/7 champion, Dana Brooke, with Reggie at ringside versus Tamina Snuka with Akira Tozawa for the 24/7 championship. Now, apparently before this match, Dana Brooke got a good luck kiss by Reggie and all that. And then we get the match underway. It was not a long match. At the very end of this match, we've seen Tamina lock on the Boston Crab onto Dana Brooke, trying to make her tap out. And while Dana Brooke couldn't fight out of it, she used her leg strength to actually get out of it, to flip Tamina onto her back. And then that's when Dana Brooke quickly got on top of her, hooked her legs up for the pin, and got the 3 count. So yeah, Dana Brooke defeated Tamina Snuka tonight and has retained the 24/7 championship. That's what happened. She quickly got out the ring with Reggie. And then Akira Tozawa grabs the mic and says the true winner is Tamina because you cheated. And that's what he was saying. And then he was trying to get a kiss from Tamina. And then Tamina instead walks past him, getting out the ring and stuff. And then she looks back at Akira and then blew him a kiss. And that's what happened. So yeah, Dana Brooke retained the 24/7 championship. With that match, I'll just give it a half of a star. That's why I'll give that. It was whatever. It was just a filler match from after that good match with the Raw Tag Team Championships. And then we seen Seth Rollins backstage, about to get an interview and the guy was trying to ask him some questions, and Rollins was not answering. He was just looking at distance, and he was starting getting pissed off and stuff over the fact that he wasn't going to WrestleMania. So yeah, that's what happened. But up next, we're going to see The Miz, Logan Paul, and Jerry the King Lawler up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we seen The Miz come out, and he comes out, and pretty much, they're in Cleveland, Ohio tonight for Monday Night Raw. So The Miz was born and raised in Cleveland, and he comes out and he starts talking about the Mysterios disrespecting Logan Paul a few weeks ago. That's what Miz was talking about, and how him and Logan Paul is going to go to WrestleMania and beat the Mysterios. So yeah, that's what he was saying, and he did show the promo of them, the video package from 2 weeks ago, whatever, of Dominic calling Logan Paul jackass and all that, talking about how they could easily beat him and Miz. So yeah, that's what happened there, and he introduces Logan Paul. So Logan Paul comes down, and, he's from Cleveland, Ohio, and he starts talking about how they're going to go to WrestleMania and beat the Mysterios and all that. And then they introduce Jerry the King Lawler. It was great to see Jerry Lawler back on Monday Night Raw. It's been a very long time, actually. So yeah, it was great to see Lawler back. And he was talking about, going through the old story, how he was there in Cleveland when the Browns won their NFL championship and all that. Back in, 1964, I think he said. So, yeah, he was talking about the history and everything about Cleveland, Ohio. And then he looks at Miz, he goes like, Miz, wouldn't it be a great idea if we have WrestleMania in Cleveland? And then Logan Paul was like, yeah, I'm down for that. And Miz was like, nah, this town ain't a WrestleMania town. And then, that's what Miz was saying. And then, the fans starts booing the hell out of Miz. And Miz was like, hold up, a moment ago you was cheering me, and now you're booing me? What the hell is wrong with you? Well, you know what? Just to tell you guys, I was probably born in Cleveland, but I don't even live here no more. He said nobody lives here. Nobody. Your NFL team is gone, NFL team is gone, and all that. That's what Miz was saying. Pretty funny segment, though. And then, he was talking about how he's going to get to WrestleMania and all that with Logan Paul. And yeah, all that stuff. So yeah, pretty good, funny segment. Pretty much just bashing Cleveland. That's what the segment was about. Come to the town, just bash the town, and just dip out. So yeah, pretty good segment. But yeah, up next we're going to see Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs, versus Tommaso Ciampa and the NXT champion Braun Breaker in a tag team match. This is Braun Breaker's Monday Night Raw debut. Quickly, how he's already showing up now. So yeah, because they're going to have a match tomorrow night on NXT Roadblock, I think they said, where Braun Breaker will be defending the NXT Championship against Tommaso Ciampa and Dolph Ziggler. I think that match is a triple threat match. But yeah, that's tomorrow night. But yeah, the tag team match will be up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a tag team match. It was the NXT champion Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa versus Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode in the Dirty Dogs in a tag team match. And before I talk about this tag team match, we seen the Street Profits backstage. They get interviewed, and it was getting talked, the interviewer was telling Street Profits, why ain't y'all going to be at WrestleMania or whatever? How do y'all feel about that? And Street Profits was like, well, wherever the Raw Tag Team Championships goes, the Street Profits will go, and we'll get our way in there. So yeah, that's what Street Profits was saying and all that. So yeah, pretty good promo segment with the Street Profits. But yeah, we get to the tag team match. It was a pretty good tag team match. At the ending of this match, we seen Braun Breaker try to hit this shoulder tackle into the corner on the Ziggler, but Ziggler moved out of the way. Braun Breaker then runs a shoulder into the ring post, and then Ziggler then hits a zigzag onto Braun Breaker. He goes for the pin. Tommaso Ciampa then breaks up the pin after 2. And then Robert Roode tried to quickly come in. Tommaso Ciampa quickly grabs Roode, throws him out of the ring, but he lands on the apron. And then Tommaso Ciampa hits a jumping knee to the face onto Robert Roode, knocking him off the ring apron, and he gets out the ring with Robert Roode. And then Dolph Ziggler was trying to hit a super kick on a Braun Breaker after he got up, and then Braun Breaker quickly grabs his leg and then picks him up in the air and then drops him down with the power slam, and then he pins him for the 3 count. So yeah, Tommaso Ciampa and the NXT champion Braun Breaker defeated Dolph Ziggler and Robert Roode, the Dirty Dogs, in a tag team match tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. So yeah, it was an okay tag team match. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. Actually, I'll give it 2 stars. It was a pretty good match. It was great to see Braun Breaker make his Monday Night Raw debut. But tomorrow night, with this being said, actually, Dolph Ziggler actually grabbed the mic and he starts talking about how they might beat him tonight and they coexisted and all that. But tomorrow night they ain't going to coexist, and he's going to take the NXT Championship and put it in his trophy case of his long accomplishments and all that. So yeah, but yeah, tomorrow night we'll see Dolph Ziggler facing Braun Breaker and Tommaso Ciampa in a triple threat match for the NXT Championship tomorrow night. So yeah, that's the match happening tomorrow night. But up next we're going to see Omos versus Apollo Crews up next on Monday Night Raw, and Omos was having an interview backstage, and he was talking about because he debuted at last year at WrestleMania, he was talking about how he's going to go out there, beat Apollo just like how he beat everybody else, and just dominate all the way through up until WrestleMania, and just go to WrestleMania and dominate that too. So yeah, that's what Omos said. But yep, that match will be up next. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was Omos versus Apollo Crews with Commander Aziz at ringside, and Apollo Crews lasted a little bit in this match. I mean, it sucks to see Apollo Crews like this because he is a former Intercontinental and a United States champion. Last year, he was going to WrestleMania fighting for the Intercontinental Championship, and it looks like this year he's definitely not going to be doing nothing at Mania. So yeah, it sucks to see somebody as talented as Apollo Crews just pretty much jobbing out at this point. But yep, enough about that. We get to the one-on-one match. It was okay. At the very ending of this match, it looked like Apollo Crews, he jumped up, hits an ensiguri onto Omos, and then Omos ran into the corner at one point, and then Apollo Crews was, then jumps off the top turnbuckle, and then Omos captures him, and then hits a 2-handed chokeslam onto Apollo Crews, and then got the 3 count. So yeah, Omos defeated Apollo Crews tonight, and then Commander Aziz comes in the ring, checking on Apollo, and then Omos, when he was walking out of the ring, he gets back in and stares Commander Aziz down, and they'll possibly be having a match soon. So yeah, that's probably going to be the next thing. But yeah, for that Omos versus Apollo Crews match, I'll give it 1/2 star. That's why I'll give it. It was whatever. But yeah, still to come later on tonight on Raw, we'll see Edge on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, we had Edge appear on Raw, and pretty much what was happening was the lights dim blue or whatever. So yeah, it was blue, and you know, his theme song hits, and it only hit for a second, like saying, "You think you know me," and then you hear the dun 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 dun, and then the song just cuts out before he even walks out. And then he walks out, and he walks down the ramp without a theme song. And then he gets in the ring while the lights are still blue. And then he grabs the mic and starts talking on it, saying that he saved AJ Styles. And he said, "AJ Styles, you think you know me, but you really don't." He said how the reason why he attacked him last week like that and brutally beat him down was because he wants the true AJ Styles. Like, not the tag team AJ Styles or anything. He wants the AJ Styles that will come down there and fight him. So yeah, that's what he was saying. And pretty much he said, tell your kids and everybody, put them to bed because they don't want to watch this, what I do to you and stuff. So yeah, that's what Edge was saying. And pretty crazy. pretty good segment. I liked it. It was a pretty good promo from Edge. Like I said, it was pretty good. But yeah, then we seen Kevin Owens get an interview backstage, and he was talking about how he gets a plan and how he gets an idea how he's going to go to WrestleMania, and he said he's going to reveal it later on tonight on Raw. So yeah, it looks like that will possibly be the last segment on Raw tonight. But up next, we're going to see Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus the Women's Tag Team Champions, Carmella and Zelina Vega, in the tag team match up next on Monday Night Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. See you guys later until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a women's tag team match. It was Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan versus the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Carmella and Zelina Vega. Now this was a non-title tag team match, but if Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan wins this match, they go into WrestleMania and then make that match into a triple threat tag team match with Sasha Banks and Naomi and Carmella and Zelina Vega. So yeah, that's the stipulation for this match. If they win, they enter. If they don't, they don't. But yeah, it was a pretty good match between these two teams. At the very ending of this match, Carmella was flirting with Corey Graves at ringside and stuff, talking to him or whatever. And Zelina Vega pretty much was trying to tag in Carmella, but Carmella's doing that. And Zelina Vega then turns around, and Liv Morgan hits that codebreaker move, the knees to the face, onto Zelina Vega, which stunned her. And then Liv Morgan tags in Rhea Ripley. Rhea Ripley comes in quickly, and then hits the Riptide onto Zelina Vega, where she lifted her high up in the air and then slammed her down like bad. And then pinned her for the 3 count. So yeah, Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan defeated the WWE Women's Tag Team Champions, Carmella and Zelina Vega, in a non-title tag team match tonight on Monday Night Raw. That's what happened. So yeah, at WrestleMania, we'll see Rhea Ripley and Liv Morgan be into that match, and they'll be taking on Carmella and Zelina Vega and Naomi and Sasha Banks in a triple threat tag team match for the WWE Women's Tag Team Championships. So yeah, that's the match at WrestleMania now. So yeah, it was an okay match between the women. I'll give that match 1.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. But still to come later on tonight, we'll see Kevin Owens' plan for WrestleMania later on tonight on Raw. But up next, we're going to see the new United States Champion, Finn Balor, versus Austin Theory up next on Raw. So yeah, I'll see you guys later until the next thing that happens on Monday Night Raw. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was a one-on-one match. It was the United States Champion, Finn Balor, versus Austin Theory one-on-one in a non-title match. And it was an okay match. It was pretty good. This is another rematch for like the 5th time or whatever. So many rematches between these two guys in like a short time span. But yeah, it was okay. And like Finn Balor was going to get the win on Austin Theory when he drop kicked him in the corner. And then he was about to hit the coup de grace onto Austin Theory. He was already up on the top turnbuckle. But then Damian Priest pops out of nowhere on the ring apron, grabs Finn Balor by the throat, and then tosses him off the top turnbuckle. And Finn Balor smacks, lands on his throat pretty much on the top rope, smacking it or whatever, and led to disqualification. So yeah, Finn Balor defeated Austin Theory by disqualification because of that. And then Damian Priest gets in the ring and then lifts up Finn Balor into his Razor's Edge pretty much onto Finn Balor. So yeah, he hits the Razor's Edge onto Finn Balor, laying him out, and then he gets out the ring, and then Austin Theory gets in the ring, lifts up Finn Balor onto his shoulders, and then hits his finisher move, dropping Finn Balor face first onto his knee, and then he grabs the phone and starts taking a bunch of photos with him. So yeah, with the Finn Balor laid out. So yeah, that's what happened. It was okay, whatever. I'll give the match and everything just 1 star. That's why I'll give it. A bunch of rematches between Finn Balor and Austin Theory, and then not only that, and then disqualification. So yeah, I'll give that match and everything 1 star. But yeah, and then we seen Bianca Belair having an interview backstage, and she was talking about how she's going to put the EST in WrestleMania. So yeah, and then she was talking about how she's going to win the Raw Women's Championship and beat Becky Lynch. So yeah, That's what she said backstage. But up next, we're going to see Kevin Owens on Monday Night Raw with his idea for WrestleMania. So yeah, that'll be up next. So yeah, we'll see you guys later. Until then. So the next thing that happened on Monday Night Raw, it was Kevin Owens. He came down to the ring. Of course, he's still depressed that he possibly won't be at WrestleMania this year because, as you know earlier, him and Seth Rollins lost the match for the Raw Tag Team Championships tonight on Raw. And yeah, he comes out, and he got this big idea of, having a match at WrestleMania against this one person. And he comes in, he starts talking about Texas and all that. Talking about how he wants to go to Texas. Even though he hates Texas, he wants to go to Texas and beat somebody from Texas. So yeah, that's what he was saying. And he was talking about, I would face JBL, but let's be honest, nobody cares about him. And the horns on his limo is a lot more better anyways. So JBL was off the list. And then he was talking about Booker T, which is from Texas. And he said, well, Booker T called me a liar last week on his podcast, and I don't want to hear it from somebody that's been part of a tag team called Harlem Heat, and become a king and talking a horrible British accent. And you know what? He's a hypocrite, so I don't want a match against him. And then he says Shawn Michaels. He said he likes Shawn Michaels and all that, but, he had that rivalry against Bret Hart, and since Kevin Owens is a Canadian, and Bret Hart's a Canadian, he said no to Shawn Michaels too. So then he said, I got this idea of who I want to face at WrestleMania, and we don't know if he's going to accept it or not. And the idea is, this guy, he's probably out of shape. We haven't seen him in a long time. He's possibly out of shape. Wears knee pads and all that with broken down knees. Drinks beer all day and night. He was alluding to it, keep on going down it, and he was talking about how he wants to stand over his lifeless body and pour milk down his face because that's the bottom line. And he said he could see him walking down WrestleMania down the long ramp in the walker and all that. And he said he wants to challenge Stone Cold Steve Austin. So yeah, we've been hearing this rumors for a few months now that Kevin Owens and Stone Cold possibly have a match, and it looks like now it will possibly actually happen. Maybe. We don't know yet, but because we heard rumors that this match was going to happen, and then we heard rumors that this match wasn't going to happen. And now it will possibly actually happen, because now we're going to see if Stone Cold will accept Kevin Owens' challenge, and if he does, the match is on. Kevin Owens versus Stone Cold Steve Austin at WrestleMania. Now that will be a big match, and that's a good way for Kevin Owens to get on the WrestleMania card. We still don't know about Seth Rollins yet, but Kevin Owens, yep, that looks like it was going to be happening. So yeah, this is insane. It's going to be great. But yeah, great segment to end off Monday Night Raw. So yeah, if Stone Cold accepts it, that'll be great. We haven't seen Stone Cold in action in, 19 years? Other than those, stupid matches, against Jonathan Coachman and stuff, those matches that don't matter. His last big match was 19 years ago at WrestleMania 19, actually. So yeah, it's been a long time, since 2003. So yeah, it'll be great to see him in the match against Kevin Owens. But yeah, great segment right there. And yep, the Kevin Owens segment was pretty good. The Raw Tag Team Championship match was, like I said earlier, was freaking fantastic. The 24/7 title match was whatever. It was just filler. Omos versus Apollo Crews. I already said something about that. I don't like Apollo Crews getting jobbed out because he's a former Intercontinental and United States champion, but it was whatever. The women's tag team match was Zelina Vega and Carmella versus Rhea Ripley, and Liv Morgan was whatever as well. Finn Balor versus Austin Theory. It was whatever. This is a disqualification segment with Logan Paul and Miz and Jerry Lawler. It was pretty cool. Just to get heat on them and pretty much bash Cleveland. That was pretty much what's happening. And yeah, I think that was about everything. But yep, tonight's Monday Night Raw, it was an okay Monday Night Raw. For tonight's Raw, I'll give a 7.5 stars. That's what I'll give it. It was pretty good Monday Night Raw. The Raw Tag Team Championship match was obviously match of the night. In this segment with Kevin Owens a while ago was pretty good as well. So yeah, that has been my WWE Monday Night Raw March 7th, 2022 reviews. Like, subscribe to Team W Wrestling on YouTube, subscribe to my other channel, World of Chris, and subscribe to this channel, Chris Medales, and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, and I'll be down there in the description box. And I'll see you guys later for tomorrow night's NXT Roadblock event. So yeah, I said last week that I was going to be reviewing NXT every week, but if it comes to like a special show like tomorrow night or NXT takeovers, I'll definitely be reviewing it. So yeah, look out for that tomorrow night. So yeah, I'll see you guys later. Until then.